we have ODS. Anybody know what is an ODS? Output delivery system. What is this output delivery system? What we can do with this ODS? I'm generating a report, proc report. Data is equal to SAS help.class column name sex is height and weight semicolon run. I'm writing proc means data is equal to SAS help.class where height weight as sex is run. Proc frequency data is equal to SAS help.class table statement x into age into weight run proc tablet data is equal to SAS help.class var statement weight height class statement sex is table statement x into age comma height weight into sum mean min and max. And then finally proc univariate data is equal to SAS help.class SAS help.class. Then I'm writing var weight run. Here I'm writing 5 procedures. One proc report, proc means, proc frequency, proc tablet, and proc univariate. And if I execute the program, I will get the reports in the output window or result viewer window. But I want to submit all these 5 reports to the client. So I have to submit this report on SAS help.class to the client. If I want to submit the report, if I execute the program, where I will get this report, by the way? Where will we get this report?
Output or result viewer.
You know why we'll get in the output window or result viewer window?
We did not mention the output statement.
Now, I told you, if you go to the tools, options, preferences, in the preferences, we have a results option. In the results option, we have a check for create listing, so that if you have a check mark for this one, you will get the report in the output window. If you have a tick here, you will get that information in the HTML window, which is a result viewer window. Or otherwise, we can also control this one by writing a program. Now we should write a ODS HTML. If I specify ODS HTML, now you will get this report in the result viewer window. Now, if you specify ODS listing, here you will get that report in the output window. Since I specify ODS HTML, ODS listing, now you will get the report both in output window, and at the same time, you will get the report in the HTML window also. So we can control this in 2 different ways. One is go to tools, go to options, go to preferences. Here, go to results. You can give a tick here. Otherwise, how to write a program? ODS HTML semicolon ODS listing. So, for example, from now onwards, I do not want to have in the output window. If we do not want to have an output window, what we should do? We should write ODS HTML close. ODS. Now I'm writing listing. If I specify this one, what is going to happen? From now onwards, you won't get the report in the output window. You'll get the report only in the HTML window. Understand this one? But even if you do not want to have HTML window also, again, what we should do? We should write ODS HTML close. So if I execute the program from now onwards, you won't get report anymore. Can you see this? I'm closing this one. I will execute the program again. Can you see? From now onwards, you won't get a report any window. Again, I want to get in the output window. If you want to get an output window, what we should do? We should ODS listing. Specify ODS listing. Again, you'll get that information or report in the output window. Again, I want to get the information in the HTML window, result viewer. If you want to get in the result viewer, then again, what we should write? We should write ODS HTML. If you specify ODS HTML, now you will get the report both in the output window and you will get in the HTML window also. Understand this one? Now tell me, I am writing ODS listing close. I am writing ODS HTML. Now tell me where I will get this information now? Where I will get the report?
Result view.
In the HTML or in the result viewer window. But where we have this result viewer? This result viewer is part of the SAS. Okay, but now that means you will get in the result viewer window, you will get the report, but you will get the report in the SAS. But I want to get this report outside the SAS. If you want to get this information outside the SAS, what we should do? You should write ODS HTML file is equal to. In SAS 9.4, mine is an M2 version. In the M2 version, what we should write? Here we should write a file name. Do you know how to create a file name?
Yes, sir.
Now what I'm going to do, I'm going onto my desktop. Okay, I'm going onto my desktop. Now on my desktop, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy path of any file. Shift, right click, copy as path. I'll go to the program. First of all, I'm creating a file reference. How to create a file reference? File name. File reference name. I want to have the Srini one, and then path of the, I want to have like this one. On my desktop, I want to have a class dot, or otherwise I will look at class one dot HTML. What is the reference I'm creating now? I'm creating a Srini reference, Srini one reference for class one. Now, whatever the reference I created now I am going to write that reference in the file is equal to here. Now, I want to submit my proc report. Proc means frequency, tablet, and univariate. And after all the procedures, you should write one more time ODS HTML close. By the way, do you know what is the full form of HTML?
Hypertext markup language.
Hypertext markup language. Why the sponsor will ask you to submit the report in the HTML? Because HTML is a very easy one to upload the data report directly onto the website. If you want to, generally how people design websites by using HTML language, isn't it? Now, if you want to upload your data directly onto the internet, we always should have that information in HTML language. So I want to have this report in HTML on my desktop. So first of all, I'm creating a file reference. Then I'm writing ODS HTML file is equal to the reference what I created, Srini1, I'm going to give that Srini1. And then whatever the reports that you want to export, right? All the reports, report procedures, and then finally we should write ODS HTML close. Now select this entire program and execute the program. Now you know what is going to happen. Now you'll get the report, of course, in the output window here, and at the same time, the report also be saved on your desktop. Can you see this is the HTML? Now open the HTML. Can you see? First of all, we have given the proc report, then the proc means, then the proc frequency report, and then we have a proc tablet, and then we have univariate result. Understand this one? So this is how we get HTML on your desktop. Clear, everybody? Now, when you're submitting the information onto the HTML, on your desktop as an HTML. So what is that program here I'm writing? I'm writing program like this one. ODS HTML file is equal to, instead of file, you can also write body is equal to. Both are same. Either you can write the body is equal to, or you can also write a file is equal to. Okay, but when I execute this report, I'm getting all these reports in the normal manner. But I want to apply the styles. By the how to apply the styles? Remember, when I'm writing the proc report and proc print, we have seen some styles. Style of data, style of column, style of header is equal to, within the parentheses, within the flower brackets, background is equal to, foreground is equal to, like that one. Remember? But it takes a lot of time. Now, what I want to do, luckily in SAS 9.4, we have around 56 ready-made styles. You can use any one style. Now, I want to use a style. Now, you should write ODS HTML file is equal to file reference. Then you should write style is equal to. Style is equal to, I want to have a brick. Now, I'm writing a brick style. Now see, if I execute the program, now we are going to have a brick style here. And by the way, this is called brick style. Can you see this one? Now, instead of the brick style, now what I want to do, I want to have some other style. Maybe I want to have, instead of brick, I want to have a seaside. If I hit the seaside, now execute the program, I'm going to have a seaside like this one. Suddenly keep your mic on mute. Varun? So this is called seaside. Whatever the style that you want, you can apply. By the way, how do you know what are the styles that we have? What style that we have? If you want to know that one, whatever the pre-existing styles that we have in SAS 9.4, we use a procedure like this one. Now I'm writing proc template. Now I'm writing list styles. If I execute the program, whatever the ready-made styles that we have, all these styles, it is going to print in the output window. Now, can you see? We have around 56 styles are available in the SAS 9.4. These are the 56 styles that we have. Remember, I used a style called seaside. Somewhere we are going to have a seaside. I want to use maybe, a style called electric. Do we have electric anywhere? I want to use maybe festival. If you want to use a festival, then what we should write the program, ODS HTML file is equal to file reference, and then specify whatever the style you want to have, we can write. Now, if I execute the program, now I am going to have a style like this one. This is called freestyle festival. Understand this one? So we have around 56 styles. Whatever the style that you want to have, you can apply that. But if you want to check what are the styles that we have, what are the procedure we should write? Proc template, list styles. You know, why we the proc template procedure? If you want to design any style by you, if you want to customize a style, you can create a customized style by using a proc template. But you don't require that much. But if you want, you can use that one. Understand this one? No. Now I'm creating one more file reference. This time I'm writing like this one. File name, Srini2. I want to give the reference for class 2. Srini2. Now I'm creating this file reference. I want to use this Srini2 now for some other purpose. This time I'm writing an option called, contents is equal to Srini2. So Srini2 is a reference for class 2 HTML on our desktop. Now, if I execute the program, now on the desktop, now we are going to have one more file called class 2. If I open this one, on the left side, now here we are going to get the contents information. Table of contents. Remember, this is the proc report. Proc means frequency. This is frequency, proc tablet, univariate. If you want to refer anything, so for if you want to have means information, click on the summary statistics. Now we get directly it will take you to the summary statistics. And if you want to have univariate information, say for example, quantiles, click on the quantiles, you will get the quantiles information. So if you want to have a table of contents, what we should do? You should write contents is equal to a reference, HTML reference. Now this time I'm creating one more file reference, and this time I'm creating a reference called Srini3, and I'm creating this for class 3. This time, what I'm going to do, I am going to give a new option called page is equal to Srini3. Now see, if I execute the program on the desktop, now we are going to have, now I'm closing this one. I'll execute the program again one more time. This time, what is going to happen? I'm executing this program. Now, what is going to happen? On the desktop, now we are going to have one more HTML file, which is called class 3. If I open this one, now can you see what we have here? We have a table of pages. Report in page number 1, means information page number 2, frequency page number 3, tablet 4, and page 5, which is in a univariate. If you want to go any page, if you click on this one, on this hyperlink, it will take you to that particular report. So by clicking on the page number, it will take you to that particular report. So if you want to have a contents information, contents is equal to HTML reference. If you want to have a page, now page is equal to. Understand this one. This time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one more file reference. I'm creating a Srini4, and I'm creating this Srini4 for class 4. If I execute this program, yes, I'm going to have one more reference now. So this time, I am writing like this one. Now, I'm writing a new option called, frame is equal to. I am writing Srini4. If I write the frame is equal to Srini4, now this is how we are going to have. Now, I am going to have one more HTML window, which is class 4. If I open this one, we are going to have all the 3 information only at one place. This is the first one, which is simply file is equal to, this is contents is equal to, this is page is equal to. Now, when I write the frame, so contents information, page information, and the report, all the 3 panels will come in one location, in one page. So this is contents, this is page, and this is an individual files. If you click on anything, now it will take you to directly into that location. So on the left side, if you want to have a table of contents pane, and if you want to have a table of pages pane, and then if you want to have a report also, what we should do before writing frame, we should write what we should write? We should write first of all file is equal to, and then should a contents is equal to, then page is equal to file reference, and then finally frame is equal to file reference. Clear this one? This is how we are going to submit the HTML report. Clear, everybody? Hey, this is clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, I want to submit the same report in PDF file. I want to submit the same report in the PDF format. Now, you know what you mean by PDF? What is the full form of PDF, by the way, anybody?
Portable document format.
Portable data file.
Document file.
Document format. Portable document format. I want to submit this in PDF file. I want to submit the same report. So proc report, proc means frequency, tablet, and the univariate. I'm copying all the 5 procedures I'm writing here. Now, before the procedures, again, what we should do? We should have ODS. Now we should have PDF. File is equal to, you should, first of all, I want to write the file reference. Now what I will do, I will take one reference, anyone. For this also, I'm writing, first of all, I'm creating a file name. I want to have it as a Srini, but I want to have this for PDF. Now we should have ODS, PDF, file is equal to Srini. And then at the end of the report, again, what we should write now? We should have ODS, PDF
close.
Now, whatever the information that we have between these two, now if I execute the program, now if you go on to our desktop, now on our desktop, now can you see we are going to have class 1 PDF file. If I open the PDF file, by default on the left side, you will get the contents page, and then you are going to get the, report, proc report information, then proc means information, then we have a proc frequency information, and then frequency 2 tables, then we are going to have, this is also frequency, then we have a proc tablet information, and then finally we are going to have proc univariate information. And I told you, we have 56 different types of styles, and you can use those styles here in PDF also. If you want to apply any style, what we should do, file is equal to file reference, then style is equal to, I want to have electric. I hope you have an electric style. Did they give any error for electric? I want to have a Paris blue. I think we have a spelling mistakes for Barrett blue. I'll execute this program first. You'll get the Barrett blue. ARRGTTS, no? We have a Barrett blue. So you can apply any style, whatever the style you want to have, you can apply. And when it is the proc contents, by default on the left side, you'll get the table of contents. But if you do not want to have this table of contents, what we should do? So go to the program. After writing all the styles, if whatever the style you want to, now you should write no TOC. What you mean by no TOC? No table of contents. So can you say, no, you'll not get the table of contents now. You'll get only the report. Clear, everybody? So this is how we, If you want, you can also apply the password. But if you want to apply the password, you should have Adobe Acrobat. You should have professional PDF. And then if you have that one, we can apply the password. When you get the credit card bill or a debit card monthly, report. If you want to open that report, what we should do, remember? You'll get a mail to your document to the mail. If you want to open that one, you should give your date of birth without any spaces, and then you should give the first 4 characters of your name according to that account. Then what you will get, you can open that credit card bill or a debit card monthly report or something, isn't it? So for a PDF, if you want, you can assign a password. But if you want to assign the password, you should have a licensed version so that you can do that. Understand? Now, once you're done with the PDF, this time I want to have an RTF document. By the way, what is the full form of RTF?
Readable text format.
Rich text file format. What is the rich text file format? Which is nothing but Word document. So now I am writing ODS, RTF, again file is equal to. We can add any file reference. But if you want to give the file reference, first of all, what we should have? ODS, RTF, I am writing the close. What we should do? We should have, first of all, the file reference. So first of all, I'm going to create a file reference now. I'm creating a file reference called Srini, and I'm creating for what file? This is for RTF file. And I'm using the same reference here. Now execute the whole program. Now on your desktop, now we are going to have this Word document. And you see, first of all, we have a proc report. Proc means proc frequency. Then we are going to have a proc tablet. This is the proc tablet, and this is the proc invariant. Understand this one? But when writing this RTF text also, whatever the style you want, you can apply. Style is equal to, yes, I want to have a brick. I'm writing style is equal to brick. Execute the program. Now we are going to get the brick style. I may not getting. Can I read it? Okay, we cannot apply style. So yeah, we can't do that style. Sorry, we should not write here. No, where we should write that one? Yeah, it is equal to brick. Yes, we can do that one. Yes, in that RTX file also, we are getting whatever the style that you want, you can apply it. Now, when you're getting the style here, can you see in the RTF file how we are getting the head title? Can you see this one title? How we are getting? Always the titles will print in the back end. So that means that's why now the styles will appear gray in color, not in the main page. But I want to have these titles in the part of the main page. If you want to apply these styles part of the main page, what we should write? Now go to the program. After writing the style, file is equal to a file reference, whatever the style you want to have, you can write the style. Now we are going to use an option called body title. Now if I use an option called body title, now see how it is going to get applied. Now see, I think we didn't close this one properly. I'm closing that one. First of all, I'm closing that one, otherwise it won't be get refreshed. Now I'm executing the program. Now we are going to have can you see now how we have the title now? Can you see now it is in a dark black color? That means now this title is the main part of the report. Otherwise, we are going to have no body title. If you have a no body title, it won't become the main part of the report. It is going to be in gray color. That means it is going to be in as a watermark. Okay. Now, Whenever I execute the program, I'm getting the report in Word document in one column. But I want to have in one page, I want to have it as a two columns. If you want to have a two columns, so you know what we should do now? Now we should use one more option called columns is equal to. Now I'm writing here, we should write columns is equal to. Now I'm going to specify two. If I execute the program, now see what is going to happen now. Now we'll get the result two columns in one place. If you want to have it in this way, you should columns is equal to how many columns you should write. If you want to have, you should write that number. By default, columns is equal to 1. But if you specify 2, now you'll get in one page, you'll get 2 columns. Of course, the table is going to get split. This is how we are going to get it. So if you want to get in 3 columns, what we should do? You should write columns is equal to 3. Then you'll get 3 columns in one page. Now we can use the next option, which is called SAS data. If you use the SAS date option, of course, this is by default. If you read the SAS date option, what is going to happen? Whenever you open the document, the Word document, you'll get that date date. If you open the same document tomorrow, you'll get the September 29. Understand this one? నేను చేస్తాను మీకు అప్డేట్ నేను చేస్తాను. So this is how we can export reports as in a Word documents. Now what I want to do, I want to export the same report as an Excel in a CSV file. I want to do it in a CSV file. If you want to do it in a CSV file, again, what we should do, we should have the same program again. This time, I'm creating a file reference for class 1 CSV. And what we should write now? We should write ODS CSV file is equal to file path, file reference, style is equal to name, and then you don't require this body title and the start date, SAS date and all. Then finally, what we should do, we should write ODS CSV close. Now select the program and execute the program. Now, if you go on your desktop, can you see on the desktop, now we have a CSV file. If you click on the open, can you see we are getting all the information in one CSV file? First of all, we have a proc report information. Then we have a proc means information. Then we have a proc frequency information. Then we have a proc tablet information. And finally, we have univariate information. And by the way, you can find all this information in one file because a CSV file means you're going to have only one sheet. Understand this one? So all the 5 reports are coming in one CSV file. In the same way, I want to save this information in Excel sheets. If you want to have an Excel sheet, then what we should do? Now I'm creating an Excel sheet file reference for XLS. Then what we should do now? ODS.
XLS.
What we should do? No, you should not at XLS. This is a little bit different. You should write an option called tag sets dot XLXP. What we should write? Tag sets dot XLXP. And then file is equal to file path. I do not want to have any styles because styles will not get applied. And then I'm going down here. We should write ODS tag sets dot XLXP. Now execute this entire program. Now on your desktop, now we are going to have an Excel sheet. Can you see? Excel sheet, each one table will be created one sheet. First we have a report, then we have a proc means. And then we have this is called proc frequency, table of age into weight. And then we have a second one. Then we have this is proc tablet. Then we have a sixth table, movements in proc univariate. You will get 5 tables. Each one will come in one sheet. So total, we got 9 sheets. In CSV file, all the information will come in one sheet, but in Excel, we'll get one table in one page. So a little bit different. If you want to have in Excel sheet, what we should write? ODS tag sets.xlxp. Then file is equal to path or the reference. And at the end, again, we should write ODS tag sets.xlxp. Understand this one? This is how we are going to write it. Now, I want to have the same information as an XML file. If you want to have it in XML, you know what you mean by XML?
Extensive markup language.
Extensive markup language. XML is a very flexible language. We can convert that XML file into any type of file. That's why sometimes the sponsor will ask you to submit in XML file. I'm creating a Srini reference for XML. Now I'm writing, ODS XML file is equal to Srini. At the down, you should write ODS XML close. Now, if I execute this program, now it will create on the desktop, it will create an XML file. And by the way, XML will be get open in Internet Explorer. And this is how it is going. You can't understand what is this. This is how it is going to be XML. You're going to get huge information. Understand this one? This is an XML. XML is a very flexible language. You can convert that into any file format. So these are some of the important major kinds of files the sponsor may ask you. And based on his requirement, you should write any one type of thing. Clear, everybody, so far?
Yes, sir.
Now, again, this time I'm writing this one. Proc means data is equal to SAS help.class. If I execute the program, that's what we are getting the report in HTML window, right? But can you see what is the title I'm getting here? When you execute certain procedures, the procedure name will come as a title. Can you see what the title we have here? The means procedure. Who cares whether it's a means procedure, a frequency procedure, proc, univariate procedure? As a client, as a sponsor, I don't care about that. All I want to have in a report. I don't want to have that one. If we do not want to have this one, now we are going to use a ODS option. Now we should write ODS, then space. Now we should write, no proc title. If you use no proc title option now, from now onwards, you will not get the procedure name as a title. Now, can you see for this report, we do not have a means procedure. So if you want to suppress the procedure name as a title, what is the ODS option should write? ODS, no proc title. Okay. Now, while I'm printing a report, I want to have some text in the report. If you want to have any text in the report, now we are going to write an option called ODS text is equal to whatever the text you want to connect it. Now, for example, I want to have some text. Now, this program, this program will give descriptive statistics for all the numerical variables. Oh, I want to have some text. I don't know what text I want. Now, if I execute the program, in the report, along with the report, now can you see we are going to have some text here? So if you want to have a such kind of text, what we should write? We should write ODS text is equal to. Now, and can you see when I execute any procedure in the results window, can you see what is the title I'm getting? What do you mean by report? This means this is a proc report information, means frequency, tablet, univariate, means because I executed means for time. I do not want to have this label. I want to have a sum label so that I can easily understand what report it is in the results window. If you want to have a sum information here, now we are going to write an option called, we are going to ODS proc label. I'm writing ODS proc label is equal to, now within the quotations, I am writing, so for example, student demographic report. Now, if I execute the program from now onwards, so whenever I execute any procedure, now in the output window, in the results view window, now can you see what we have now? We have a title. If we have this proc label, now we can easily understand this report belongs to what data. By default, you are getting just a procedure information, but if I add any proc label, now it will give that label here so that you can easily understand what report it is. So if you want to have a title here, what we should write? We should write an option called ODS proc label is equal to. Understand this one? And then now I'm writing, proc univariate data is equal to SAS helper.class var wait. Now tell me how many tables you will get if I execute this program?
5 tables, sir.
Tables. But I do not want to have 5 tables. I want to have only movements. Then tell me what should I do if I want to get only the movements table? I told you already. ODS.
ODS select.
Select whatever the table you want to have, you can write it.
Moments.
Movements. But I told you, if you want to get only one table, what we should write? ODS select, you should write the table name. But how do you know what table it is? How do you know the name of the table? Remember, we should write ODS trace on, and we should write ODS trace off. Now we go to the program. Now we are going to have the table name, the table label, path, and template in the log window. From here, we can copy that now. Understand this one? But if you want to have any information in a data set, what we should write? ODS output table name is equal to data set name. Now I told you when writing ODS output, you should write ODS output close. If I execute the program, that same information now will come into a data set. Understand this one? This is how we are going to generate ODS. This is how we are going to generate the reports. Clear, everybody? Is this clear? Okay. So this about the ODS, and we'll see in tomorrow's class. See you tomorrow.
Sir, chat box lo paste cheyaru.